So, good day, sir. I'm Cadet Lance Lumusad, and we are Group 3. So, the members are Lumusad, Marata, Medina, Molina, Cabalinas, Panilag, Paran, Ribaya, Risaban, Sabando. So, our topic is to describe the importance of ship's turning circle in ship handling and compare the turning circle in ballasted condition to the turning circle in loaded condition. So the importance of ship's turning circle in ship handling is a ship's maneuvering characteristics define its ability of turning, yaw checking, course keeping, and stopping distance. When a vessel's fitted with a fixed right-hand propeller, she would benefit from a transverse thrust effect, and the turning circles in general will be quicker and tighter when turning to port than to starboard. So the longer the ships, generally, the greater the turning circle. So the type of rudder and the resulting steering effect will decide the final diameter. So the smaller the clearance between the rudder and the hull, is the more effective the turning action.
Good day, sir. I'm Decadet Panilag Kent Ryan. The topic is all about the following factors will affect the rate of return and the size of turning circle. Number 1. Structural design and length of the vessel. Number 2. Draft and trim of vessel. 3. Size and motive power of main machinery. 4. Distribution and stowage of cargo. 5. Even keel or carrying a list. Number 6. Position of turning in relation to have available depth of water. 7. Amount of rudder angle required to complete the turn. External forces affecting the drift angle. Number 1. Draft and trim. The deeper a vessel lies in the water, the more sluggish will be her response to the helm. On the other hand, the superstructure of a vessel in a light condition and shallow in a draft is considerably influenced by the wind. The trim of a vessel will influence the size of the turning circle in such a way that it will decrease if the ship is trimmed by the head. However, vessels normally trimmed by the stern for better steerage and improved headway, and it would be unusual for a vessel to be trimmed in normal circumstances by the head.
TCD maneuvers. Ship run at full speed with rudder, helm, 35° P or S throughout this trial. Number 2. Motive power. The relation between power and displacement will affect any vessel's turning circle performance in the same way that a light speedboat has greater acceleration than a heavily laden or carrier. It should be remembered that the rudder is only effective when there is a flow of water past it. Therefore, the turning circle will not increase by an considerable margin with an increase in speed, because the steering effect is increased over the same period. The rudder steering effect will increase with the square of the flow of water past the rudder.
Distribution and stowage of cargo. Generally, this will not affect the turning circle in any way, but the vessel will respond more readily if the loads are stowed amidships instead of the extremities. Merchant ships designed tend to distribute weight throughout the vessel's length. The reader may be able to imagine a vessel loaded heavily fore and aft responding slowly and sluggishly to the helm. 4. Even the keel are listed over. When engaged in trials, a new vessel will be able on an even keel when carrying out turning circles for recording the ship's data. This condition of even keel cannot, however, always be guaranteed once the vessel is commissioned and loaded. If a vessel is carrying a list, it can be expected to make a larger turning circle when turning towards the list and vice versa.
My name is Cadet Bandovans Jerome, and I'm actually part of the group 3. So let me just discuss here this one. So available depth of water. Majority of vessels, depending on the hull form, will experience greater resistance when navigating in shallow water. A form of interaction occurs between the hull and the seabed, which may result in the vessel yawing and becoming difficult to steer. She may take longer to respond to the helm movement, and probably increasing the advance of the turning circle, increasing over the transfer. The corresponding final diameter will be increased retrospectively. Rudder angle. Probably the most significant factor affecting the turning circle in the rudder angle. The optimum is the one that will cause the maximum turning effect without causing excessive drag. If a small rudder angle is employed, a large turning circle will result with little loss of speed. However, when a large rudder angle is employed, then although a tighter turning circle may be experienced, this will be accompanied by a loss of speed. And I have here number 7. So it says here drift angle and influencing forces. When a vessel responds to helm movement, it is normal for the stern of the vessel to traverse in opposing the motion. Although the bow movement is desired, the vessel's resultant motion is one of crabbing in the sideways direction at an angle of drift. Thank you.
Hi sir, I'm Cadet Jake Pabalinas and I am the next reporter. Compare the turning circle in ballasted condition to the turning circle in loaded condition. Container ships' maneuvering characteristics define their ability of turning, yaw checking, course keeping, and stopping distances. When a vessel fitted with a fixed right-hand propeller, she would benefit from the transverse thrust effect, and her turning circle, in general, will be quicker and tighter when turning to port than to starboard. The longer the ship generally, the greater the turning circle. The type of rudder and the resulting steering effect will be decide the final diameter, with a clearance between rudder and the hull having a major influence. The smaller the clearance between the rudder and the hull, the more effective the turning action. Merchant ships usually turn in the circle having a diameter of about 3 to 4 times the length between perpendicular. The larger the rudder, the smaller will be the turning circle. During the TCD or maneuver, the ship will experience the transverse, advance, drift angles, and the angle of heel. The maximum angle of the heel must be recorded. If the ship has port rudder helm, this final angle in heel will be starboard and vice versa. Again, this is due centrifugal forces acting on the ship's hull. This maneuver is carried out with the ship at full speed and rudder helm at 35 degrees. The ship is turned completely through 360 degrees with say starboard rudder helm and then the port rudder helm. Turning circle diameter. There will be two TCD different diameters. This is due to the direction of the rotation of the propeller. For most single-screw merchant ships, the propeller rotates in a clockwise direction when viewed from aft to forward part of the ship.
Good day, sir. I am Molina Mariel, and my topic for today is TCD. Fig TCD maneuvers ship round at full speed with rudder helm 35 degree P or S throughout this trial. It should be observed in figure that the beginning of the port turning maneuvers, the ship turns initially to starboard. There are reasons for this. Force acting on the rudder itself will cause this move at first to starboard. Larger centrifugal force acting on the ship hull will then cause the vessel to move the ship on course to port as shown in this diagram. Ship model tests and ship trials have shown that the TCD does not change if this trial is run at speeds less than full speed if these trials had been carried out in shallow waters. The TCD could have been double that measured in deep water conditions.
Good day everyone, I am Tech Cadet Paranleo Mark M. So I am here to discuss the turning circle. So first let me define what is turning circle. So turning circle, it is when a vessel is made to turn under a condition helm through 360 degrees. It will follow a roughly circular track called turning circle. So we have here four different types of turning circle. We have a normal full loaded condition with maximum rudder angle, full ahead RPM. So in his side, you can see the picture illustrated there. And next is the turning circle with the normal ballast condition with maximum rudder and angle full ahead RPM. Same as the picture in the side. So next is the turning circle loaded condition with maximum rudder angle half ahead RPM. And the last turning circle is the normal ballast condition with maximum rudder angle half ahead RPM.
Good day, sir. I'm the Cadet John Paul, and this is my report. Diameters. The greatest diameter described by the vessel from starting the turn to completing the turn, ship's head through 180 degrees, is the tactical diameter. The internal diameter of the turning circle where no allowance has been made for the decreasing curvature as experienced with the tactical diameter is the final diameter. Transfer. This is defined by the distance which the vessel will move perpendicular to the fore and the aft line. At the commencement of the turn, the total transfer movement lasts from the start of the turn to its completion, the defining limits being known as the transfer for the vessel when turning. Diamo Resolution MSC 137-76 standard for the ship maneuverability identify the following characteristics: inherent dynamic stability. A ship is dynamically stable on a straight course if it, after a small disturbance, soon will settle on a new straight path without any corrective rudder action. The resultant deviation from the original heading will depend on the degree of inherent stability and the disturbance magnitude and duration. Course keeping ability. The course keeping quality is a measure of the steered ship's ability to maintain a straight path in a predetermined course direction without excessive oscillations of rudder of heading or heading. In most cases, reasonable course control is still possible where there exists an inherent dynamic stability of limited magnitude. Initial turning course changing ability. The initial turning ability is defined by the change of heading response to a moderate helm. In terms of heading deviation per unit, distance sailed, or in terms of the distance covered before realizing a particular heading deviation, such as the time to execute second demonstrated when entering the zigzag maneuver. That's all.
Good day everyone, I am Cadet Marata Christian Ray. I'm here to discuss about the yaw checking ability. Yaw checking ability, the ship yaw checking ability is a measure of the response to counter rudder applied in specific state of turning, such as the heading of overshot reached before the counter rudder has concealed the yawing tendency in a standard zigzag maneuver. Turning ability. Turning ability is the measure of ability to turn the ship using hard over the rudder. The result is a minimum. Advance at 90 degrees change of heading and tactical diameter defined by the transfer at 180 degrees. Change of heading. Stopping ability. Stopping ability is measured by the track reach and time did in water. Realize in stop engine fall as turn maneuver. Perform after a steady approach at full test speed.